Thank you.
You're welcome. Okay, guys, I'm going to start going through these questions, and we're just going to make our way through. Okay, and then we're going to move on. I'm just going to turn my video off so you're not staring at my ceiling. For those of you who weren't here earlier, I said I'm going to sing everything now because I said, isn't my singing better? And then no one said anything, and I was very hurt. So now I'm going to sing all the time because my feelings got hurt. Okay, question 1. We're looking at 5x plus 10y, and then we've got negative xy minus 2y. So we're trying to find something that's common in this 5x plus 10y. And here the thing that we have that's common is 5. So I'm going to take out 5, and I'm left with x plus 2y. And then in this negative ax and the negative 2ay, I can take out negative a, and then I'll be left with x. And it has to now be a plus because a negative and a positive is going to give me that negative 2y. And now this is how we know we're on the right track with grouping, because our brackets are the same as each other. And as soon as we have a common bracket, we know that we've done something right when it comes to grouping. So the first thing we did was we grouped those first two terms and the second two terms. Now we're going to take out our highest common bracket, which is x plus 2y. And when we do that, remember, if it helps you, cross it out of both terms and you just write what we have left, and we've got a 5 left over, and then we've got a negative a left over. And that will be our final answer. Now, you could also have written this the other way around. So you could have said 5 minus a, and then in the second bracket, x plus 2y, and that's exactly the same answer. Okay. All right. Let me know in the chat if you got that one right. Or let me know how it went. Let's do that rather. 0 means it went terribly. 10 means it went great. 5 is somewhere in the middle. Beautiful, Piwe. Nice. Yeah.
Please explain again.
Sure. Okay. So from our first two terms, we take out our highest common factor, which is 5. And I'd be left with x plus 2y. Then in my second two terms, I'm taking out my highest common factor of negative a, and I'd be left with x plus 2y. Then when I get to this point here, I can take out my highest common bracket, which is x plus 2y. Oh, gosh, I'm in highlighter mode. And I write what I have left from my terms, which is 5 minus a. And that is our grouping. Okay.
Can anyone hear me?
I can hear you now, Adam.
Oh, hello. Can you please give me the passcode, please?
I'm going to pass you on to Anya. So Anya's going to help you. Can you send her a direct message for me?
Okay.
Thank you.
I can do that.
Okay, let's have a look at question 2, guys. So for question 2, I'm going to work through with our crisscross method over here. So I'm going to write 5x and 1x, and luckily it's a prime number. So those are our only options that we have that we can use. And then I need to try and break up my 4 and my 1. And I'm going to see, well, if I put my 4 there and my 1 there, 5x times 1 is going to give me 5x, and 1x times 4 is going to give me 4x. And I'm trying to get, oh, sorry guys, my pen's doing something funny. Let me just let it calm down for a second. Oh no, my whole screen is frozen. That's not great. Okay, guys, I'm just going to narrate this for a second. So we're going to have if we have that 4 at the top, that 1x times that 4, that's going to give us 4x, and we're trying to get to a negative x, which means we want that 5x to be negative 5x, and we want the 4x. Okay, so then what we land up with in our brackets is, let's see if this is working now. No, okay. Let me just try something for a second. What we land up with in our brackets is going to be x minus 1, and then in our second bracket, 5x plus 4. Okay. Sorry, guys, everything has frozen here on my... I'm trying to deal with this little technical error. If you hadn't tried question 3, this is your time to shine and give question 3 a try. If I disappear off the chat, it's just because something's happened to my computer, and I promise I will be right back.
I'm okay with it because I can give a good massage, so I don't mind.
Tell me, brother, how you feel till you respond to you massaging the house.
Well, so far, she hasn't given me any side eye or anything like that. She doesn't seem like the easy jealous type. Because she gives me an energy that she's not threatened by any girl in the house. There was a time we were speaking.
Okay, guys, can we have our microphones muted if we're not talking about maths? Thanks. I feel like I know a lot about your love life now, though, which is interesting.
I have been enlightened.
Yeah, I feel like we have all been enlightened.
Yep.
Hi, ma'am.
Hi.
I'm not 100% sure on what the answer is because I don't know this method. May I please get the answer?
Yes, sorry, sweetheart. I am trying. My screen is just frozen, so it's not letting me write. But the answer for question 2 is x minus 1 in the first bracket, and in the second bracket, 5x plus 4. But as soon as, no problem, as soon as my screen's cooperating again, I will be back there with you. But for the moment, give question 3 a try for me.
I mean, like, I'm not really struggling, so I can't say I'm struggling, but I'm not all there.
The method? Is it the method that's putting you guys off, or what is it exactly? Just so ma'am and I can know how to help you guys.
No, that's not the problem. I don't know about everyone else, but for me, like, I understand what's going on. I'm just sad at myself because I got the answer wrong by like one marker. I
Like
got
one
it
sign.
wrong. Yeah. I understand what's going on. I'm just disappointed in myself.
That's fine.
Don't be disappointed in yourself, though.
But I am.
Why?
Because I could have done better.
But that's the whole point of these lessons, is to try and sort of experiment and see what's going on.
Alright. Let me just see with number 3 and then we'll go back to this.
Exactly. See with number 3. Okay, so for number 2, if you are not familiar with this, I just want to make sure that you can see what I'm writing. Can everyone see the answer now for question 2?
I don't know about the students, but on my side, it's just like a grayish blue screen.
Oh,
Yeah, me too,
okay.
man.
I'm just going to stop sharing and reshare, and let's try for the best. Can you see the answer there for number 2 now?
Yes,
Yeah.
ma'am.
Yes.
Oh, yay. Okay, success. Excellent. Okay, so if we did the crisscross method, that's how we would land up getting to our answer. But lots of people don't do crisscross. You do the grouping method. And so let's look at the grouping method. If we have 5x squared minus x minus 4, then the first thing we do is we take the coefficient of our first term and we multiply it by our constant. Okay, so we get 5 times negative 4, which gives us negative 20. We need to then work with our factor pairs of 20. So we've got 1 and 20, 2 and 10, and 4 and 5. And we can see, well, we can use 4 and 5 to get us negative 1. Okay, and that negative 20 is telling us the signs need to be different. So we're going to have 5x squared, and then I'm going to have minus 5x plus 4x minus 4. So those were what we figured out with that factor pair over there. Then we group our first 2 terms and our second 2 terms. Just wait, let me finish this question. So we're going to take out 5x and I'll be left with x minus 1. And in my second ones, I'm going to take out plus 4 and I'm left with x minus 1. And then we're going to take out our common bracket, which is x minus 1. And I'm left with what's over, which is 5x plus 4. So for your sort of more advanced trinomials, if you haven't learned the crisscross method and you've only learned the way by doing it with grouping, then that's what you should be looking at over there. Okay, so those are the two different methods of doing sort of more advanced trinomials. Okay, let's move on to our most complicated question. Let's move on to question 3. Does anyone in the class feel like they may have gotten question 3 correct? It's a hard question. I'm just going to put that out there. Does anyone feel confident? Oh, and Corsi feels confident. Great. Does anyone else feel confident? Seko, great. Offense, kind of. Cool. Difference of squares. Yes, it is definitely difference of squares. Okay, let's see. Maybe you didn't get the whole thing right, but you got different steps of it right. So let's see how this goes. Okay. I'm just going to make it a little bit bigger for us. If I look, oh, Tiama, why are you crying, sweetheart? Never be upset in maths. Okay, if I look at x squared minus 16y squared, I can definitely do difference of 2 squares. Okay, and the way I break up that difference of 2 squares, I'm going to have x plus 4y, and then I'm going to have x minus 4y. So that's my difference of 2 squares. Then there's nothing I can do with this. So I'm just going to write it as plus x plus 4y. So that's our first step. Who got to that first step over there? Who got through to step 1? Let me know. Great. Good. I'm seeing some hands up. Excellent, guys. Nice.
Ma'am.
Yes.
Sorry to jump in here, but I think at the end of the lesson, especially those that are struggling with factorization, if I could just ask them to not hop off so quickly at the end, because at the end of the lesson, I'll post 1 or 2 YouTube links that they can also watch just to help them with factorization, just the basics, just for those of us that are feeling a bit behind or so. Is that fine with you?
So great, Anya. Thank you so much. That's brilliant. Okay, so we see lots of people have gotten to that step, which is awesome. And that's like the hard step. So well done if you got there. The next step is we're wanting to take out our highest common bracket. Okay, and so we're looking for a bracket which is the same as each other in our 2 terms. So this is our 1 term and this is our other term. And we're looking for the bracket that is the same as each other. Okay, so we're going to take out that bracket. I'm going to take out x plus 4y. And then we write what we have left over. So we've got x minus 4y. And then what's the last thing which is super important for me to put at the end of that minus 4y? What's the thing I can't forget? Something needs to go here before I close off my bracket. The 1! Oh, mommy, yes! Yes, the 1! Plus 1. And that 1 is because there was no number in front of that bracket, but we can't forget that it's still a term. And so we have to put the 1. And that would be our final answer for question 3. Now, remember, question 3 is the trickiest of questions. So if you got question 1 of the grouping right, then I'm really happy. If you got question 3, I'm over the moon, but I'm fine if you didn't. Okay. Who landed up getting that final beautiful answer for question 3? Oh, you forgot about the 1. It's okay. It's okay. That happens. Asange, yes. Winnie, yes. Nice, guys. Good job.
Sorry,
Yes.
to part again. Don't the x plus the 4y and the x minus the 4y, doesn't that cancel each other out?
No, if they were written without brackets, then and I had x minus x and 4y minus 4y, they would cancel. But because they're in brackets, I would have to multiply.
Oh, okay. Thank you.
No problem. Abuzwa?
Ma'am, for question 3, ma'am, what I did was, ma'am, I first broke it down, right, ma'am? And then after that, ma'am, when I got my final answer, ma'am, and then I went back up and then I basically I reseparated, like I made it up again, ma'am, like the same way it was originally. So after I solved the question.
Okay, so you re-multiplied it out.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, but then we're just going backwards. So that's like we're going on this long journey and then we're taking that whole journey away again. So when we factorize, once we get to our final answer, we stop. We don't multiply our answer back to the original question.
Oh, okay, ma'am.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, no problem. All right, guys, today we are going to move into something called sum and difference of cubes. Now, sum of difference of cubes is something which looks so confusing when you first see it. You are like, what on earth is happening? But it's actually so easy. It's not horrible at all. It's super simple. It's just like this formula that we follow and we always end up getting to the right place. Okay, so when we learned difference of two squares, let's just talk about difference of two squares for a second. Difference of two squares was when I had two terms. That's what the T stands for. So that's our 2. There had to be a minus sign. That's that negative. So that's the D for difference. And both numbers had to be square numbers. That's how I knew I could do difference of two squares. Now, in sum and difference of two squares, it's also going to be 2, but this is allowed to be a minus or a plus. That's why it says sum and difference. And the only thing that we have to be careful with is that both of them have to be cubes. Okay, so if I am trying to factorize this, that's the important word, because I can't do anything with x cubed minus y cubed. It is just what it is, because they are not like terms. If I had to factorize it, I'm going to show you very clearly how to do this one, and then I'm going to let you try one. Okay, we always have 2 brackets. That's our first step. In our first bracket, what we're going to do is we are going to cube root that term, and we are going to cube root that term. So what is the cube root of x cubed? Who can tell me what the cube root of x cubed is? X. Excellent, Apiwe. Nice. Chantal, well done. Okay, so the cube root of x cubed is x. So we find that cube root of it and we put it in there. Cool. Then we keep this exact sign. So if it's a minus sign, we keep that sign. We keep whatever sign it is. And then we put in the second term. What is the cube root of y cubed?
Y.
Y. Yes. Nice. Okay. And we've gotten our first bracket. That's our first bracket done, which is awesome. Okay. Now we move on to our second bracket. Second bracket is going to be that term squared. So what is x squared? It is what it is. It's x squared. Okay, so we square our first term. For our last term, we square our last term. And it's always going to be a plus sign. So let's just write that in. Always a plus sign. And then, this is where we get a bit sneaky, is this middle part over here. First thing, the sign is always going to be different to what sign is in the middle. So if that sign is in the middle is negative, we're going to write a positive. So that is always going to be the opposite sign of the first bracket. Okay. And then to get the numbers next to it, we multiply these two together. So we say x times y, which is xy. And that's how we work out a difference in sum of cubes. That's it. So we say x minus y, and then open brackets, x squared plus xy, because it's the multiplication of x and y, plus y squared. Okay. If you didn't get a chance to write this down properly, make sure you take a screenshot of this or a photo with your phone so that you've got it there to help you as we work through these questions. Okay. You just do it one step at a time. And then we're going to do the second one and we're going to see how it goes. Okay, remember, and if this is the first time you're seeing it, obviously you're feeling confused and that's a normal emotion. It's okay.
Ma'am?
Yeah.
In my school, we kind of already did this. So for now,
That's
I'm gonna watch previous videos for a while until you come up with something that I don't know at that point, then I'll come back in. But for now, I'm gonna watch previous videos to subjects I don't understand for a while.
Excellent. That's great.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, let's see. So I've kept this one almost the same. The only thing that's different here is that we have a plus sign. So the only thing that's different is that there's a plus sign. I've taken away the minus and I've added a plus. Let's see how this one goes. Try and do it step by step. Make sure you get what you need in the first bracket, what you get in the second bracket. Just do it one step at a time. I promise it gets easier and easier and easier. Eventually you're like, oh my gosh, this is the easiest thing in the world. My students love it when they get a difference or sum of cubes because they're like, oh, I know exactly what to do. And they just follow their little steps. Okay, I'm seeing some answers that are coming through, which is great. Yeah, Viswa, you're going to give me your answer?
No, ma'am. Ma'am, I have a slight question, ma'am.
Sure.
Ma'am, for since like, ma'am, on the first bracket, ma'am, it's usually a negative, ma'am. Do we keep the like?
No, it's no, sweetheart, just listen carefully. Just listen. It's not usually a negative. It is whatever sign is in the question. So if the sign has a question, it's a negative, and if the question has a positive, it's a positive.
Okay, ma'am.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am. Thanks, ma'am.
No problem. Uyabongo, yeah, sure. You can give us your answer.
Ma'am, it's x plus y,
Good.
open brackets, x squared minus xy, y squared.
Plus y squared. Excellent. Yay. You even get a little party hat. That's awesome. Well done. Nice. Nice job, guys. Okay. Let's try another one. You know, I like to step it up. Because what's the fun when we're just dealing with x cubed and y cubed? Okay, let's have a look at this before I leave you to the wolves. There are two terms. It doesn't matter if it's a plus or minus, okay? But 125 is a cubed number. So we're happy with that. And 8 is a cubed number. So we know we can do sum of 2 cubes here. Okay, that's the important thing we need to check. So give this one a go for me. Got it right, Angel. Yes, nice. Otiama, I'm glad that you like my drawing. Thank you. And I'm glad you're not crying anymore. So we're making a lot of progress. Good. Yeah, I'm going to give you one more minute because these ones go nice and quickly. Asange, yes, you absolutely can try Asange.
Okay, ma'am. So, yes. Okay, so you're gonna open brackets and print 5x plus 2.
Beautiful. 5x plus 2. I love it. Next bracket.
You print in 5x minus 10x plus 4.
Okay, so your minus 10x is great. Your plus 4 was great. What did you say your first one was?
25x.
Beautiful. 25x what?
Great.
Yes, 25x squared minus 10x plus 4. Excellent. Yes, good. Okay, are we getting this right, guys? Are we enjoying it? We're getting there.
Miss, can I ask a question?
Sure.
Where does the negative 10x come in from?
Okay, so the negative is because our sign is always going to be the opposite of whatever sign is in that first bracket. And the 10x is the multiplication of those first two terms. So it's 5x times 2, which gave us 10x.
So we multiply that to get the answer in the other bracket.
Exactly.
Okay.
Okay. All right, let's try another one, guys. Let's see how we go.
Ma'am.
Hi.
I think when you obviously, we know you can scroll to the next question, that's fine. But I think when you write your answer, I think do it in the order the kids would have done it. In other words, like you do your small bracket first, and then you show how you square your two terms, and then how you get your middle term. if that makes sense.
Absolutely. We can definitely
Okay,
do that. Perfect. Okay. Let's have a look, guys. That's okay, Nomazi. We'll try again and we'll just keep going. It'll start coming together, I promise. Oh, Sebo, it happens with internet connection. Just try and listen carefully with this one and we'll see how it goes, okay? Okay, so
Sandhya,
just
your hand is up.
Okay, ma'am. So I got the answer.
okay, so Asange, tell me how I get my first bracket.
Okay, 4 minus a.
Okay, I'm just going to stop you there for a second. So I'm going to cube root my 64, which gives me my 4, and I'm going to cube root my a cubed, which gives me my a, and that negative sign is the same as the first one. Okay, Chantal, you can do the next one first, okay? All right, tell me how I get my second bracket. Did I say Chantal? I think I meant to say
So then you say 16 plus 4a plus a squared.
Good. Okay, so 4 squared is going to give us 16. And our last one over here, we're going to say plus a squared. So we're going to square that a. And then we're going to have the opposite sign. So we had a negative. Now we're going to have a positive. And we're going to say 4 times a, which gives us 4a. Beautiful. Nice.
Thank you. Thank you, ma'am. I think the way you did it now definitely helps show the learners how to do it step by step instead of just reading it from left to right. And then later on, they'll get so quick to just read it from left to right.
They'll get there. Yeah, exactly. Because they're superstars. How are we doing with this one, guys? Are we getting there? Is it getting better? Getting a little bit easier?
Yes.
Well, wait till we can't simplify the second bracket because we don't have any like terms. Okay. All right. Okay. Well, we don't really have time, but it's fine. It's fine. It's fine. Oh, sorry, Bonga. I didn't know I was rushing. You always know you need to just tell me to slow down. Just be like, stop. Okay. Puzzle of the day. I have put something up here. Let's see if someone can solve it. I'll be very, very, very impressed if someone gets this right. Let me just put it like that. It is not 19. It is not 88. It's not 19. It's not 23. It's not 38. It's not 29. It's not 21.
Not 31.
Oh, Josh just got it. It is 100% 96. Josh, are you able to explain how you got 96?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can.
I just thought because when I looked at it, I saw that you were timesing or whatever you were timesing. Like instead of 2 times 5, it was kind of 2 times 6.
Yes.
So instead of 8 times 11, I said 8 times 12.
Nice, well done. Okay, so what we were doing was we were timesing by 1 more than that second number every time. So 1 times 5 is 5, 2 times 6 is 12, 3 times 7 is 21, and 8 times 12 is 96. Josh, well done. I didn't think anyone was going to get this. I'm very, very, very impressed. Nice job, Josh. Yeah, this one was not easy. This was a tough question. Okay. So, all right, let's try one more. I wanted to do some mixed ones, but let's just try one more one more difference or sum of cubes before we go into the mixed questions. Okay, so this is just for everyone to just do one more question of difference or sum of cubes, and then we'll move into some mixed factorizing. Okay. Oh, to make that a little bit thinner. Okay, let's do 8x cubed minus 125y cubed. Okay. Give that one a go for me. This will be our last difference or sum of cubes questions, and then we're going to move into try and get everything around. Guys, if you're new and you've just wait a second, Asangi. I think I also said Chantal could try this one. I don't know if she's wanting to, but if she would like to, I think this one's for her. Good, Chantal. If you are new and you are feeling a little bit lost, so we've done work that you may not have done, just wait for a second, Avuzwa, that you have not necessarily done in class yet, please just wait at the end of the call so we can chat to you to make sure you can get everything that you need so that you don't feel at all lost in any of these lessons, okay? We want to make sure you feel supported. Okay, Chantal, this one is all you.
Okay, so first we say the cube root of 8x cubed, which is 2x.
Beautiful.
And then minus the cube root of 125y squared, cubed is 5y.
Good.
And then in the larger bracket we say 4x cubed, squared.
Good. So we squared 2x squared, which gives us 4x squared. Beautiful.
Plus 10xy.
Okay, so we put the opposite sign and we multiply those together. Good.
Minus 25y squared.
Very, very close. The 25y squared is absolutely right.
Oh.
But what's that sign going to be?
Minus. Plus.
A plus. So that sign is always, always, always a plus. And the reason it's always a plus is because what we're doing is we are saying negative 5y squared, and that negative is getting squared, which gives us a positive. So it doesn't matter if it's a negative or positive, it's always, 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 always a plus sign. Okay. But beautiful, you did all the hard work. Nice job. Okay, does anyone need to sit on this question any longer? Just so you can put the little hand up emoji. Okay, I'm going to move down. Okay, so the way that we've done factorization so far is that, this was a challenging one. So this was a hard one. You're doing well. The way we've been learning factorization, obviously we've been doing it in sections, so you know exactly what to do for each one. And now we're going to look at questions where you have to figure out. So we're going to need to put together, exactly, it's just too much of a pro. You need to put together like what to do yourself, because obviously you're not told in a test what to do. So we're just going to talk about some steps to kind of help you here along the way. The first thing is we always look for a highest common factor. So if there's a highest common factor, we always, always, always take out that highest common factor. Okay. Second thing we look for is, are there two terms? And if there are two terms, can we do difference of two squares? Okay, remember that stands for difference. So the minus sign, difference of two, and then square numbers. Okay. 3, if there are not two terms, then are there 3 terms? And if there are 3 terms, can we do a trinomial? If there are not 3 terms, but there are 4 terms, can we group? Okay, so this is sort of how our brain works as we follow them down. So the first thing we say is there a highest common factor? And if there is, we take it out. If there isn't, or we have taken one out, we say, are there 2 terms? Can I do difference of 2 squares? Are there 3 terms? Can I do a trinomial? Are there 4 terms? Then I can group. Okay, so I want you to sort of look at that list, and I want you to think how we can apply that list into this question that you can see here, for example, 1. So we've got 7a squared minus 28b squared. So the first thing we're going to look at is, can I take out a highest common factor? And then we're going to look at the second step. So just take it one step at a time. The whole thing of factorization is that it builds on each other. So we just do one little thing at a time. Onako, I'd love it if you would give this one a try.
May I go for it, ma'am?
You may go for it.
Okay, so outside the bracket, there's a 7.
Why is there a 7?
Because it's...
What is it? What is that 7?
It's 7's common.
Yes, it's the highest common factor. Good. 7 is our highest common
Yes,
factor. Excellent. Okay, so we take that 7 out. What do I have left inside my brackets?
A squared minus 4b squared.
Beautiful. Yes. Okay, cool. So now we've taken out our highest common factor. Cool. Now we see, is there something else I can do?
Yes, ma'am. 7
What else can I
stays
do?
out of the bracket.
Good.
And then A minus 2b.
Yeah.
Close that bracket, and then in another bracket, A plus 2b.
Okay, and what did you do there? Which one of these things? Grouping, trinomial, dots, or highest common factor?
Highest common factor, ma'am.
Okay,
And
so
there's
this,
also difference of 2 squares.
good. So this was our highest common factor, and this over here was difference of 2 squares. Excellent. That was so well done. Lovely, lovely, lovely. That is a very creepy smiley face, but I'm very excited. Okay. Okay, nice job, guys. And also, Chantal, sorry, I think I saw your question earlier. You can put your hand up to answer, or you can write it in the chat. Either one is great. Okay, good. Let's try another one. Okay, remember your list, number 1. And when I'm in a test for factorization, I write this list on like a piece of paper or on my test at the beginning of the test, and I use it as like a checklist as I go. So highest common factor, dots, trinomial, group. That's all we need to remember, and we just follow that list. So we start at the top and we work our way down.
Can I try this one?
Yes, Asangi, you can. I'm just going to give everyone just a little bit longer to try, so I'm going to call you on in a minute, okay?
Okay.
Okay.
Ma'am, I wanted to ask, is this like the grouping one?
Yes, absolutely. This is grouping because we've got 4 terms.
Thank you.
Sure. Okay, Asange, what am I going to do?
Okay, so you're going to group 2px minus p.
Good.
And negative 12x plus 6.
Good. Okay, so I'm doing grouping, and I'm going to group my first 2 terms and my second 2 terms. Cool. Next step.
Then put them in brackets.
Okay. Well, let's of these 2, what can I take out as my highest common factor of that first 2?
P and
Cool.
And 6.
Okay, so I'm left with p 2x minus 1, and then here I'm going to take out a negative 6. So then I'm left with 2x minus 1. Okay, where do I go to from there?
Okay, so then you group p minus 6. Like put them in brackets. P minus
Good.
6.
Good. So now here we've got a highest common bracket, so we can take that out of both. So we're going to take that out, 2x minus 1, and we are left with p minus 6. Excellent. Nice. Okay.
Hey, ma'am.
Yeah.
Yes, just to jump in there, I just want to know, for those of you who got to like the first step, so where you start with your grouping and getting your 2 brackets, if any of you manage in the second bracket to get 2x plus 1, right? Because some of you might have done that. Instance, you took out 6 and not minus 6, so your bracket is 2x plus 1. Always check then in your two brackets, especially if the one bracket is like a minus and your other bracket's a plus. Then there's a high probability that the highest common factor you've taken out needs to be a negative. That should be like a little trigger, like a little light bulb or red flag or whatever you want to call it. I just wanted to point that out.
No, absolutely. That's so right. So this is kind of what we were talking about on Thursday, guys, when we do this, and then we realize that those two brackets aren't exactly the same as each other. Then we need to think, well, what can we do that would make them the same? Because when I multiply that in, I need to get negative 12x. And when I multiply that in, I need to get positive 6. But this bracket is not exactly the same as that bracket. So then instead of taking out a positive 6, if we take out a negative 6, I'm still getting my negative 12x and I'm still getting my positive 6. Okay, so just do it step by step. Grouping is just one of those things that takes a bit of time. But that was absolutely beautifully said, Anya. Thank you. Okay, does anyone need to sit here any longer, or can we go on to number 3? Okay, I'm taking the silences that I can move. Okay, don't fall for my trap here. Follow your steps. Highest common factor. Dots. Try. Ooh. Grouping. Okay. I suppose we also need to add our difference in sum of cubes here now, because now we've done that as well. Okay, so don't fall for my trap. Let's see what we can do first and then go from there. And then I think you'll find that it's a much nicer question than it seems. Yeah, you can absolutely answer. Talk us through.
Okay, so ma'am, I first took out a highest common factor.
Good. Of what?
Ma'am, of 5.
Excellent. What's going to be left in my bracket?
X squared plus 3x. Sorry, ma'am.
No, it's okay.
Plus 4. I mean minus 4.
Minus 4. Beautiful. Well done. Okay, and then we have just a nice, easy trinomial like the ones we would have done in grade 9. And what are those two going to land up being?
It's going to be minus 1. I mean, x minus 1 and x plus 4.
Okay, so let's just chat about that, guys, how we get to these two brackets. We can use the way we learned in grade 9, where we just worked with our factor pair of 20. So we had 1 and 20, 2 and 10, 4 and 5, and we look at those to see, well, oh, sorry, factor pair of 4. I fell for my own trap there. 1 and 4, 2 and 2. And we're trying to see how we can get 3. Okay, and so then by doing that, we can see, well, the pair we're wanting to use is 1 and 4. This negative sign is telling us that our signs need to be different, and we're trying to get positive 3x, which means that 4 would need to be positive and that 1 would need to be negative. Okay, so these are like our normal grade 9 trinomials, nothing scary about them. How are we feeling with the question so far, with these 3 questions that we've done? How do we feel? Give me a number out of 10, just of these 3 questions. So
7.
Just as a, okay, nice. So the first one was the highest common factor and dots, and then we had a grouping one, and now we have this highest common factor and trinomial. Okay, cool. Oh, good. I'm so glad the last lessons have helped, guys. That's great. That makes my heart happy. Cool. 4. See, I'm not always mean. Sometimes I give you questions like this.
And then, ma'am, Oh, sorry, Asangi, you can carry on.
Did you have a question, Asangi?
I want to ask if you could do it.
Oh, I just want to see if anyone else wants to volunteer, just because you've said a few answers, which I love, but if someone else would like to give it a go, then I want to give them a try. Anya, what were you going to talk to us about?
I know, just saying, while someone volunteers for this question, I see a pre just posted in the chat as well. Just before everyone hops off at the end of this lesson, just remember, I'm going to post a link in the chat of a video on factorization if you're struggling a bit. And I'm also going to share just a quick poll just to see how you guys felt about this lesson. That's all I wanted to say. All right, back to you, ma'am.
Thank you. Okay, up here, I'm liking your numbers. Just be careful with your signs. That's what I'm going to say with that.
Ma'am?
Owami, I have not heard from you all lesson. I feel shocked.
Well, I did the difference of two squares.
Difference of two squares. What does the T stand for in difference of two squares?
Oh, okay, never mind. Wow.
It's for two. Two. How many terms are in this question? Nokubonga, I hear your lovely voice. How can I help you, my sweetheart?
Can I please try this equation?
Yes, you definitely can. Tell me what to do.
Okay, I found out this was what do you call it? A trinomial.
Good, it is a trinomial.
It had 3 terms, so I had to open up 2 brackets.
Good.
And then the first one is x plus 2.
Okay, I like the x. And I like the 2.
Should it be negative?
Yeah.
Okay, so x minus 2, then another bracket x plus 5.
Okay, this is also going to be minus 5, but your numbers are right. But let's just talk about why they should both be negative. Well done. Thanks, Nokubonga. So if I look at my factor pairs here of 10, I've got 1 and 10, and then I've got 2 and 5. Okay, and I'm trying to get to negative 7. Now we know that that plus sign means that these two signs need to be the same as each other. And they always are going to be the same as that middle term. But if we don't want to remember that as like a rule, we need to just look at these numbers. So we've got 2 and a 5. If I make them both negative, if I have negative 2 minus 5, I'm going to get negative 7. Okay, so just kind of work your way backwards from there. And I can't believe it, but that is our time has just like flown and it's just disappeared. And it's 2 minutes before the end of the lesson and we need to do a poll with you. So I'm actually going to call it a day there and I'm going to carry on with some other factorization in our lesson on Thursday. And we're going to bring in some fractions on Thursday. I know someone asked about fractions. So we are finally diving into fractions. But you'll see that Anya has posted a poll here. And so you can just say how you're feeling about today's lesson. Just be as honest as you would like. It's okay. I promise my feelings won't be hurt. And then if you have something that you want to say, that's sort of not one of these numbers, you're welcome to unmute and tell us, or you can put it in the chat. Okay. And then, yeah. And then I think Anya's also posted some links for you. Am I right?
Yeah, so first of all, just the poll. So just a rating from 1 to 5, how you felt about this lesson. 5 being like the best, like the bee's knees. 1 being like, this was absolutely dreadful. And then in the chat, just first things first, I would suggest first go back and watch the Watobe lessons, especially like last week's lessons. First go and watch those. If those didn't help you, you can actually go on YouTube and literally go search Watobe factorization. Even if it's like a grade 9 video, that's fine because maths builds up. And then if that fails, you can watch that link. But that link that I sent is from like not a Watobe source, but everything is online these days, so you can watch that as well. It just gives you a good overview. But to be quite frank with you, I really like Mam's explanations tonight, so I would actually first go watch her videos from last week. That's all from me.
Thanks, Anya. And thanks for joining us for this week, and we'll have you again on Thursday, which is very nice for us. Just remember, guys, that all of the lessons that we've done in this whole course, like Anya was just saying to you right now, they're all there on that website, so you can go and have a look at them. And we've started with factorization all the way from grade 9 factorization, and we've built on it in each lesson. Okay, so just be careful. The other thing is, if you've done it in class and like this is sort of the second time you're seeing it, that's a good thing, because seeing something a second time sort of cements it in your brain, and then it makes things fall into place a little bit easier. So that's sort of the ideal situation. If you're seeing it for the first time in these lessons, then when you see it in class, you're like, oh, cool, I know what's going on. So both ways have a benefit. So don't sort of stress if you haven't done it in class yet, but also don't be like, ugh, I don't need to listen, because it can help. It can help you in the long run. I also wish it was 2 hours. Otherwise, I feel like I never have enough time with you guys. Time just disappears out of thin air. Yes, supper and a cup of tea. Kevin's eyes. But thank you so much, guys. And once you have filled in the poll, you are welcome to leave, and I will see you guys on Thursday. Have a good evening.
Thank you, ma'am. I enjoyed the lesson.
You're welcome. Bye, guys.
Thank you so much, ma'am.
Thank you.
Goodbye, ma'am.
Bye, guys.
Bye-bye.
Bye, ma'am.